Hello learners, I am Dr. Subodh Kesharwani working with Indira Gandhi National Open University in School of Management Studies. The topic which I am going to talk today is related to our BCom CBCS program, and the course name is Computer Application Business, which is a very contemporary course because it talks about how the computer is going to play an important role as far as the business is concerned. So this is purely a skill enhancement, rather we can say a course which give learners a glimpse about how to use the computers, how to use the technology, and flourish their business. So we are already having somewhere around 12 to 14 lectures in this particular course, and this is the topic which we are going to talk today is plastic money, e-wallets and online pay. I think while going into the depth of this topic, we have to realize, we have to find out that how much important, how much the credibility the wallets have, the money have, because when we talk about the brick and mortar way of doing the things, brick and mortar way of doing the business, this is replaced with the help of this the electronic commerce, or in the present scenario we talk about this app-based commerce. But on the other hand, this contact-less commerce is also coming up. In this pandemic stage, we have seen that how the swiping of the card has also been avoided, and this new phenomena had come up that where you are just with the help of near field technology or RFID technology using your wallet to pay the money. So the definition of the wallet, the impression of the wallet, the manner the wallet need to be changed is changing with the change of time. So the country is moving, the whole world is moving from brick and mortar system to click and mortar system, and we have observed that everywhere across the board, it's not in business, it's as far as the service industry is concerned, as far as the education is concerned, as far as the learning is concerned, everywhere we have seen that there is a great impact of this contemporary way of doing the transaction is coming up, and that is the reason we have observed that there are certain banks which are now no more brick and mortar banks. They have made a virtual branches, so the branch physically won't exist, but if you log in, you will get the flavor of that. So these branches are quite equipped with the latest trend, the latest technologies, and the current way of facilitating the consumers, and this kind of model is come up. So this had given rise to the topic called plastic money, e-wallets and online pay. So prior to going into the depth of this topic, let me throw a light on what exactly we have done in our preceding sessions, and how these preceding sessions in link with that. We are in the 8th unit right now, 8th chapter rather we can say, and already we have 10 to 12 lectures, which starts with the application of computers, talking about the preamble part of computers, how the software is going to be changed with the change of time. There was a time when software was exclusively for websites. Now for Explorer we have got different softwares, and certain operating systems are coming up. There was a time when operating system was confined to desktops only, but right now you observe that Android or the MacBook or Macintosh is there, which is designed exclusively as work as a operating systems for the smartphone gadgets, a smartphone or gadgets. So this is the model which is going on, and web applications is changing with the change of time. The web-based browsers are coming up, and these browsers are cloud linked and facilitating the consumers or the users by and large. So then we have talked about the business information system, how the information system is going to be changed as far as the business is concerned, the definition of the business, the impression of the business, and how the business is going to be governed is also changed. And these change had come up because we are using massively a technology with it, because technology is helping the business in a different manner, and DBMS is there, then database management system, which usually talks about that how you are going to keep your data and how you are going to manage the data, because whole world is talking about the privacy of data, the secrecy of data or usage of data, so that these data can't go in the wrong hands. If the data leaks or data hacked, I think the biggest problem comes. So then we have talked about certain enterprise applications. These enterprise applications are customized, tailor-made, integrated softwares, and this is for the big companies, or rather we can say the Fortune 500 companies who are in the $1 trillion club, like the Apple or the Facebook or the Amazon, or a lot of companies which are just knocking the door of $1 trillion club. So these companies are using gigantic integrated softwares, big softwares which are redefining processes, their business processes, and how they are going to interact with the consumers, how they are taking care about their employees, because they have got a bank of somewhere around billions of employees or millions of employees. So how they are going to take them into considerations. And the whole world is right now talking about the GDPR, that is General Data Protection Regulations, that how much you are protected towards the data, because these data are the individual data, the individualistic data, which is loaded or floated on the particular servers. So if the server or the portal or the e-commerce organizations or the business entity is not serious about the protecting the data of the individuals or the consumers, I think they will be penalized. So GDPR, we have a dedicated session on GDPR which exclusively talks about how important it is, because it was a initiation started by United Nations, and then it's become a moral duty of every organization, or rather we can say that it's moral duty of every country to frame the policy, and these policies are now becoming mandatory, and it's a moral duty and all the organizations are adhered to apply these policies. So what we observe that IT securities in business we have talked about, and these IT securities are very important ingredient, because with the help of this security you can able to see the control of the business, because the whole world is talking about the facing the data issue problem. So big data analytics, the cloud data shifting from paper mode to cloud based, or the server based to cloud based, these kind of things are coming up. So then internet services and email, which we have already talked in our previous sessions, and how much important the internet is. We have seen that Internet of Thing, the whole world right now talks about Internet of Thing, and emailing is changing with the change of time. There are certain features which were disabled in the emails, but right now it is there. So more agile approach is available right now in emails, and these email providers, if you talk about Gmail or Hotmail or the other way of mailing services, they are making the communication more prompt and more consumer friendly. So anyway, we have already talked in our preceding sessions, and the topic today revolves around plastic money, e-wallets and online pay. We are going to talk about various things as far as what exactly the plastic money is, how plastic money was replaced. When we are in the brick and mortar mode, we are using the stereotype currencies, then we have moved to the plastic money. These plastic money are debit cards or credit cards. And then you have now moved into the wallets. So every bank is now coming up with their own wallets. If you talk about SDFC, they have PayZapp. If you talk about ICICI, they have Pockets. If you talk about SBI, they have So, and these kind of the wallets are one step ahead to that, where you can link your bank accounts, you can link your UPI with that, and these wallets are quite agile in nature, and whatever the transaction you used to do through e-commerce portal, they have a wallets, and sometimes certain cashback used to come. Sometimes you keep certain amount, because if you are traveling and you need certain amount where automatically the money can be deducted. Like when we are using Ola or Uber, we travel. So they have Ola Money or the Paytm wallet. So if you link with that and your bank account with that, automatically when the travel complete or the transaction complete, automatically the money deducted from this particular wallet. So this is the way. Now online pay is coming up. Online pay talks about that how you're going to pay your utility bills, how you're going to pay your electricity bills, how you're going to pay your fee, how you're going to pay your DTH or the landline connections bills or broadband bills and mobile bills, or a lot of other ways, or even the credit card bills used to be paid through online manner. So this is the model which is coming up, and we will definitely throw a light on what exactly the wallets is and how the payment cards are working, what are success stories about it. So let's start with the cashless transaction, because the cashless transaction talks about the plastic money. Then you have is a very routine phenomena. Every bank is giving a plastic money right now. If you open an account, you get one ATM card which you can use from any of the ATMs or from the particular bank's ATM and do the transaction. So from there, this phenomena had come up. Then to replace this, the mobile wallets had come up. This card-based payment was there. Then carrier billing. Then mobile banking apps are coming up. Now every bank is giving their own applications, and now on the other hand, with this pandemic or lockdown stage, we have seen that contact lens or near field communication is coming up, which is purely based on RFID and no contact of plastic money, because no no concept of swiping the cards, or just you can have certain difference with that, and with the help of this broadband automatically the amount deducted and deleted from a debit card. So no need of putting the password, but there are certain things which can be linked with that. So anyway, what I mean to say about plastic money is a term used to represent the hard plastic cards, which is very common in nature right now. Even when the government have introduced the Jan Dhan Yojana, I think they have introduced this plastic card also, and with that plastic card, the person who are deprived or under-marginalized or not able to access the bank account, if he or she opens the bank account, they can also do the transaction with this plastic money. So this plastic money is now everybody cup of tea, and it can be work with any of the ATMs with certain limitations or restrictions, which usually define as far as the terms and conditions is concerned in their bank's details. So they come in several forms such as debit card, credit card, stores card, and prepaid cash card is also available, where certain amount is put in this particular plastic card, and once you use that, it could be exhausted. So, and these plastic cards are governed through Visa and MasterCard, who are the pioneer in processing of these networks, and they are the two largest payment processing networks, and both Visa and MasterCard are a payment gateways. We will talk about what exactly the gateway is, how the money move through gateways, and when we buy any product, and it asks for the two layer of security. The first is that the CVV number, which we usually is at the back of the plastic card, and the moment you put that CVV number, you will redirect to the banking portal. So these banking portal is nothing but a payment gateway, where again you have to put the password and put the detail of that. So both Visa and MasterCard are a payment gateway that supports the payment facility to almost all the major banks from around the world. So there is no major difference between a Visa and MasterCard. In fact, these are the two companies. They both have some similar functioning and work as a plastic card. And these Visa card won't work on a MasterCard network, and vice versa. So Visa card is exclusively for the Visa card because they have taken that platform facility. And on the other hand, MasterCard is working that manner. So MasterCards are the same, and not all Visa cards are the same. So it provides authorization, clear transaction, presenting and setting, acquisition services for the merchant itself, terminal management, and so on. So this is the beauty of Visa and MasterCards, and now this Visa and MasterCards had been replaced. These all had been replaced by the new term called wallets, because there are certain good points which the wallets have, because plastic money have certain constraints. You have to carry that plastic money, and there is chances of theft. And if the card lost, if somebody had swapped the amount, if the card is not password enabled, I think, or the issue comes. So to avoid this, whereas on the other hand, e-wallets are more stronger, and e-wallet is quite real time in nature and more agile. So very easily, whatever the transaction used to be done, it is automatically come, and if certain cashback supposed to be come, it will automatically come over there and depicts on that. So this is these wallets are organization centric. Like Amazon is an e-commerce portal. They have own wallet called Amazon Pay. And Paytm is also into e-commerce business, so they have their own wallet called Paytm. And then there, on the other hand, there are certain aggregators like MobiWik is exclusively working as a mobile recharge company, and now working as a wallet. So some of the organizations which are using the MobiWik wallet, so these are the third-party wallets. So and Pockets is used by ICICI. So PayZapp is the initiation by SDFC. And so what I mean to say, and Bhim Axis Pay is also there. So this is the way by which the things are going to be changed with the change in time. And wallet, e-pay, online pay is very omnipresent right now. So e-wallet is like the digital equivalent of your real world physical wallet. It appears as an app in your smartphone. That is very true. And through this app, you can very easily do the transactions. You can store the money, you can debit the money, you can credit the money, you can transfer the money. Even mobile to mobile transfer is there, where you can transfer the money instantly to another account. So e-money is like our money, either coins or notes, but it could be in a virtual manner. So it appears as a digital number inside the wallet. And there are certain main features as far as mobile wallet requires, that is user registration, banking account authorization, check account balance. So these are the features which are available. So fund transfer and transfer receipt is there. Payment for bills, you can pay your utility bills. There are certain banks which are coming up with this e-wallets, and these mobile wallets are giving a lot of facility. You get 5% to 10% cashbacks when you pay your electricity bill or mobile bill, or the DTH bill, or your general usage bill. So capability to use and offers. So that is the beauty why people are moving from plastic money to mobile wallets. And the only thing is that and there are certain disadvantages. It's not like that e-wallets is quite optimum in nature and there is no such stumbling blocks. So if you talk about system outages are there, security issues, then the investment is there, because information for e-wallet are stored on the cloud and business server. Therefore, there is risk of system malfunction. So what I mean to say that sometimes, if very easily the people can know about the OTP or other details, they can deduct the amount from there. So companies must ensure that their customer information is encrypted and well protected. So this is the security part which need to be taken care. We have talked in our preceding session about the GDPR. So General Data Protection Regulations emphasize on that how the employer, how the organization is going to encrypt and well protect the data of the company or the customers or their employees. So investment, the initial monetary investment for building a functional of e-wallet application is quite large. It requires development of software and continual maintenance. So this is really a cumbersome process. And now you see this online pay is there. So online pay is a secure online payment gateway provider which supporting e-commerce transactions, and MasterCard is one of the way by which this software is going on. Then Visa is there, then PaySafe is there, PayPal is there, and a lot of other player is coming up. So it's not like, but the intention is very clear. These are the e-commerce transaction supporting sites and emphasize purely on online pay. And what we observe that there are certain things which are coming up. If you see, you can pay your mobile bills, you can pay the data cards, you can recharge the DTH, you can pay the electricity bill or gas, water, insurance, landline, and pay the school fee. So, and even the rental is also going to be governed with this e-wallet or mobile recharge. So what we observe that with the change of time, I think the mindset has also been changed. And this mindset is changing. The mindset is bringing the technology more into force. And when technology is coming massively, I think people are talking about the click and mortar mode, like no contact of individual with one another, more emphasis on the internet. So what we observe that how the things are going to be changed, and shopping is even the stereotype restaurants are right now closed, and Swiggy, Zomato or Food Panda who are delivering the foods, it's very omnipresent in nature. There are certain the kitchens which had been developed, the mega kitchens which had been developed, or the dedicated kitchens had been developed, which exclusively looks that how the product is going to be delivered or the food is going to be delivered, taking care about the hygiene issues and other things. So what I mean to say, with the change of time, I think a lot of change had come up, and these change are nothing but changing of the mindset. Like people don't want to dedicate themselves for the particular thing or particular time. They are just doing certain things, and parallelly they are doing other things. So in keeping in mind the technology or in the payment gateways or the payment part is somewhat coming up or becoming more contemporary. So contactless payment, which I was talking about, is a secure payment method using a debit or credit card, which was there, smart card, other payment device, by using RFID technology and near field communication. To use the system, a consumer taps the payment card near a point of sale terminal equipped with the technology. So one is look, second is touch, and third is confirm. So there is no question of swiping the card or putting the password or putting the OTP and other details. So very easily what we have observed that this contactless payment is coming up, and it's not like that this kind of phenomena was not exist. It exists, but since with the change of time, with the change of this pandemic and other issues, people have changed themselves. So there is a great market of this contactless payment transaction, which values up to that could be $6 trillion by 2024. And if you see this particular chart, I think you come to know that the rest of Asia Pacific, which is in red color, I think this is the usage of the country, like in India or other place, or in the Indian subcontinent is also coming up in a big manner. So you see that there is a great use of contact-less payment transactions, whereas North America, Latin America and West America are using massively. So US contactless card transaction values 2024, and there is a growth of 300%. So growth of contactless payment transaction values from 2024 to 300%, and there are certain transaction values which goes up to 52%. So what I mean to say that there was a time when we start with the currency. There was a time when we go to plastic money. There was a time when we more talking about wallets, but right now we are talking about contactless payments. On the other hand, you observe that the virtual currency is also knocking a door. So, but prior to going into the depth of that, like the bitcoins or other model which is now going to be legalized, and we will talk about how the blockchain and how this bitcoin is now replacing the legal currencies or the legal tender which is governed by any country. So payment gateway is a merchant service provided by an e-commerce application. It's a very important ingredient because through this payment gateway, either it could be the plastic money or wallet or whatever the transaction is there, it routed through or to the third or redirect to the bank portal, and from there you put certain details and then your amount debited from there. So the credit card direct payments processing for e-business, online retailers, brick and clicks or traditional brick and mortar mode. A payment gateway facilitates a payment transaction by the transfer of information between a payment portal, website, phone, interactive voice response and the front end processor of acquiring bank. Both are equipped with the Visa and MasterCard and use as per the. So you see how the things had been started, that is, it starts with the consumer and goes to merchant store, then payment gateway, then payment and processor, then bank and merchant account. So what we have observed that how the things are going to be changed with the change of time, and this payment gateway is playing a very important role. So if you see the modus operandi, I think the first step is that the order need to be submitted, then contact gateway is there, then we have observed that in the meantime the response in online store and response from the consumer is there, so it's moving in a real time manner. Then you have payment gateway, then response is also in a two-way mode, then confirm payment, and finally payment processors, settle payment, exchange and merchant. So what we observe that with the change of time, this payment gateway is also quite agile in nature. It's more moving in a real time manner. So whatever the transaction used to be done, it's getting the response or cross verify at every juncture. So in every juncture you find out, if you talk about submitting the order, again the response is going to be checked. In gateway 2 the response is there, so there is more chances that the transaction need not to be failed, and whatever the money debited or credited, it can very easily or in a real time manner transfer to the particular account. So if there could be failed transaction, any failed transaction, I think that need to be controlled and or resolved in a very faster mode. So then exchange, then merchant is there. So why use an online payment gateway? Now the question which comes in our mind that why we are going to use the online payment gateway. Customers have the benefit of sending money privately from the convenience of their home. That is one of the thing. And during this pandemic or lockdown stage, we have seen that how this payment gateway, how this online business, how this e-commerce had bridged the gap and played a very important role, because people were not moving from one place to another, and that was the only option the individual have to do the or deliver the food or do the or buy the fast moving consumer goods through that mode. So payment gateways also reduce the number of fraudulent transactions and make them easier to resolve, and these real time transactions mean that you as a merchant get paid immediately. There was a time when when the payment used to deliver to the merchant after 2 days or 3 days, maybe after 48 hours or 72 hours, but right now this lead time is now reduced, and the merchant used to get payment immediately or at that juncture, and that the customer get instant feedback as to whether their payment has been accepted or declined. So this is the beauty of the thing. So there is less chances of fraud, and more real-time transactions are going on. So what is required for a payment gateway? A website that meets the security and eligible requirements for the bank to issue a merchant account. A merchant account is a special kind of bank account that can be linked directly to the payment gateway. And these bank accounts are issued only upon review of a website to ensure it meets privacy and security requirements. So secure socket layers are coming up, which is a prerequisite as far as the privacy policy and certificates are concerned, because when you talk about secure socket layers, it talks about the secured websites. So there are two kind of websites. When we put the website, it comes with the prefix called HTTP. So now the S is added into it, so which is work as is secured. So this secure is coming with the secure socket layers, and payment gateway offer the server that acts as the link between your website and the bank. So what exactly the role of the payment gateway is? Payment gateway role is very important because these payment gateways are bridging the gap between the vendor and the and the e-commerce portal. So sometimes what happens, we do the shopping with our wallet. So in that case, there is no involvement of bank, because the wallet is managed by the particular e-commerce portal. But after a certain time, when we do a shopping of 10,000 rupees and our wallet have only 7,000 rupees, so remaining 3,000 first need to be debited from the bank account, or transaction used to be governed. Then the moment it's become 10,000, that is 7,000 plus 3,000, then the amount debited from the particular wallet. So these amounts are coming to the wallets of the e-commerce portal, and then from that e-commerce portal the amount need to be debited. So this is the way by which the things are going to be changed. And being a consumer, sometimes consumer believes or emphasize more on keeping the money in the wallet, so that no movement of the banking transaction used to be done, and whatever the transaction used to be done is need to be done through that particular wallets only of that particular commerce portal. So anyway, I think e-commerce payment system is very important, because when we talk about e-commerce, it's not like that we talk about just e-commerce. It's a e-learning, it's e-service, or whatever the online payment system is there, either for learning or for governance or for the commerce. Everywhere you find out this payment system is there, and e-commerce payment system facilitates the acceptance of electronic payment for online transaction. That is very true. And if you see, it is now equipped with quick response code, that is QR code. That unified payment interface is there, which we usually call UPI, where your bank account or it's not your credit card account, or it's a bank account, is directly linked, and an amount will be debited from that particular account. So this UPI is equipped with or emphasized more on the debit cards or the bank accounts. So because whatever the money you have is directly deducted from this. So digital wallet is there, then IMPS is there, which is instant transfer of payment from bank to any of the individual account. Then near field communication is going on, which the example which I have quoted about this contactless transactions. The internet banking is changing. There was a time when internet bank was introduced, and the bank used to say that we are equipped with the net banking philosophy, but right now it's a very generic approach, and it's now common features which all the bank is giving. So internet cards are there, plastic card is there, dedicated bank based cards are there. So and these e-commerce portals are coming up with a lot of discounts, or the points that if you get the particular cards, you get certain reimbursement if you do the shopping with that particular card. So these kind of model is going on. So virtual currency is type of unregulated digital currency, which was legalized not in India maybe 3-4 years back, but in the present scenario it is now a legal transactions, but it's not a legal tender. In some of the countries are going to make this philosophy and making this virtual currency a legal tender. So, and some social networking sites, they have introduced this virtual currency, and this virtual currency, the very popular is Bitcoin, which was introduced in 2009. Then you have Litecoin 2011, then you have Ripple in 2013, then we have Dogecoin in 2013, and Peercoin is 2012. So what I mean to say that these virtual currencies digital representation of value that function as a medium of exchange, a unit of account and store of value. So it is stored and transacted only through designated software, mobile or computer application, or through dedicated digital wallets and the transaction. So they use the blockchain technology. Blockchain is a technology which was initiated by Satoshi Nakamoto, who was a founder of this blockchain, and intention was very clear to regulate the bitcoins. But if you see in the present scenario, blockchain technology is going to be used in many of the areas. We as a user, making groups in WhatsApp or using through Google Drive, we are using a blockchain technology. So this blockchain technology is going to give a new way to virtual currencies. There are certain social networking sites. If you talk about, the Facebook, they are coming up with their product called Libra. So in the coming days, you find out this virtual currency is going to be a legal tender, and you don't have to carry the money. So worldwide, wherever you go, you can do the shoppings. So the trend is going to be changed, and there are certain online pays which are there. Apple Pay, Samsung Pay and Google Pay have entered into the market because they are the big players. And if we talk about the Google is dominating the world market because they have got massive number of users. More or less, 90 to 95% people have the Google Gmail account. So with the help of that, they can create a Google Pay. So it requires connectivity and functions. So and Walmart and Amazon, which are working as an e-commerce giant, they have they are also working in this direction with customer experience and therefore creating loyalty. So anyway, I think this plastic money, online pay, wallet, and this upcoming term which we usually call the virtual currency is changing the face of the commerce, and or rather we can say the change approach of doing the transaction is going to be changed with the change of time. So in coming days you will find out that more things are going to be paperless. You don't have to go to bank for the particular job to know about your transactions, because everything on your fingertips. So this real time transactions, another model is going to come, and this is going to revamp the whole commerce industry, whole business industry, and give a niche to the business if they are equipped with this kind of phenomena. I think this is quite contemporary course which talks about how you are going to apply the computers in the business. And when we are going to talk about the computers, in the very first lectures I mentioned that computer is now no more a computer. It's a phenomena. It's a concept, and it's a ideology which need to be developed or imbibe in ourselves. If we are more adapt or friendly with the technology and think about that how the technology is going to be helpful, I think we should get the flavor of that. So there must be certain proportion which need to be taken care, that this much portion of technology is going to be used and this much the sense of humor is going to apply. If you are dominating yourself with the technology, or if the technology surpass your brain, I think somewhere the humans are going to lack. So this kind of phenomena is going to come. We will definitely talk about some more thought-provoking lectures which can make this course more contemporary and useful to the learners, because the genesis behind this particular course is that how you are going to apply, and when you are going to apply, when you are going to execute, I think that could be the beauty of this particular course. So it's my request to the learners that go through the latest trends which are coming up, latest terminologies which are coming up, but try to apply, try to execute, so that when you're going to execute the things, when you are talking more about the technology and learn with the real life scenarios with the latest trend, I think this is going to revamp the whole system and going to benefit you by and large. Thank you very much. Thank you.